Hi everybody and welcome to a special end of year one edition of ThursDev. My name is Luke and I'm your host, one of the many members of this show and also the person in charge of all the show's video editing. In today's video, to celebrate 52 full weeks of content, instead of getting into the guts of video game development like our usual ThursDevs, I wanted to talk a little bit about our process, how we, three video game developers with full-time jobs and not a lot of time to get together and record, can bring you content every single day, and how we put together our show, if you and a group of your friends have an inkling to do the same. About 14 months ago, John, Matt, and I, who are all members of a regular weekly tabletop role-playing group, were talking about our mutual love for watching video game content on YouTube. Matt and I in particular are huge fans of channels like Game Grumps and Achievement Hunter, and John, though less of a Let's Play watcher himself, felt that it would be fun for us collectively, as fans of video games, entertainers, and video game developers ourselves, to start our own channel and see how far it would go. We agonized over channel name, theming, what kind of content we would and wouldn't do. Were we traditional Let's Players or were we reviewers? How often should we release? All big questions that we went over ad nauseum leading up to our big day. 2 months later, after recording about 2 weeks worth of daily content, brainstorming about what we wanted to play and doing some video editing, we aired our first episode, Broforce Episode 1, Do You Even Bro? And though there was talk on more than one occasion that maybe we'd bitten off more than we could chew, from that day onward we've released a new video every single day without missing a single one. Like nearly any new venture that started on a lark, we experienced a number of growing pains. The first of which being that finding time to get all three of us into the same room to record was a lot of work. John and Matt are both married and have children, meaning that aside from work concerns, they had families to take care of and physical limits to how much energy they could fit into any given day. We attempted to carve out a block of time every other week, with the hope that we could record at least 2 weeks worth of content each time, roughly 3.5 hours of recording for our 15-minute episode structure, but timing was difficult and we almost missed dates more than a few times before reevaluating what we had time to do. Though we continued to record live together for a number of weeks following, our playthrough of the No Mercy mission of Left 4 Dead catalyzed the development of our current system, being an online game. Though my own video was far too choppy to make for any good footage, I developed a process to swap between player video, and by the time we started recording ARK Survival Evolved, with the exception of Broforce, we had migrated all of our content recording to a remote format. Since finishing Broforce, only Crawl, Gang Beasts, and Chiku have been recorded in person. As starting out YouTubers, we seeked out the most cost-effective manner by which we could all record on our computers individually, and we ultimately settled on a few great pieces of free software that I'd like to introduce here. For recording, though I originally used Fraps for my home recording on my old YouTube channel, for Level Zero NPCs we make use of Open Broadcaster software, a free open source video recording application that runs on basically any modern machine. With each of us using different video cards and a mix of NVIDIA and AMD, we wanted to ensure that we were using the same software so that we could get comparable quality on each video stream for multi-stream episodes like ARK, and later Overwatch and Grand Theft Auto V. We were able to find a tutorial online that significantly increased the quality of local recording with OBS, and though our file sizes are on the large side, we decided from the get-go that a focus on high-quality video was what we wanted, and a chunk of our respective hard drives was worth the trade-off. When recording remotely, we go old school. We use Skype for communication so that we can hear one another while playing, but we use Audacity separately for recording audio tracks. Audacity is a free recording solution that allows us to individually record high-quality audio straight from our microphones and export them as audio files that can later be re-imported during the video editing process. The reason for doing this as opposed to one person recording game audio and Skype audio is twofold. Having separate audio tracks allows for better audio balancing, and over Skype, vocal tracks are lossy and have compression applied, lowering the audio quality. We may not have the sound quality of a YouTuber with a professional sound booth, but this means that at the very least, we can apply filters to the audio that we do record to keep the quality levels reasonable, and we're able to edit out coughs, family and pet interruptions, phone calls, and equalize volume much easier than if we had to contend with an inbuilt game audio as well. Game audio and Skype audio are isolated through a Donationware virtual audio cable and soundboard application called Voicemeeter Banana, which allows us to define separate audio outputs, allowing us to record game audio without Skype audio also piping through, an absolute must for our format. When recording, to set up, we synchronize our audio and video feeds using a number of methods, but the one that we rely on the most is usually dictated menuing, where we open a menu in the game while recording, and then switch through the menu while saying what we're doing, like so.
Boop, boop, beep, beep. Alright, visual sync. Okay. Here we go. Right, left.
It isn't always perfect, but it gets the job done well enough, and it can be tweaked later if absolutely necessary. After we've synchronized vocal tracks with our own video tracks, then it's time for an audio sync, which is as simple as...
Yep. 3, 2, 1, sync.
Again, it's not perfect, but it can be tweaked in editing when absolutely necessary. This works swimmingly usually for multiplayer games, but we ran into a large snag when it came time for us to play some non-multiplayer games, most notably being our Wednesday segments. We looked into a number of other video streaming services like Twitch and Steam video sharing, but found that latency was far too heavy for us to commentate properly, with a lag of up to 30 seconds between when the player did something and it showing up for the other two. Our ultimate solution to this problem, surprisingly, was right under our noses with the screen sharing function of Skype, allowing one of us to share one of our monitors in the conference call and the other two could commentate in real time. On occasion, the video quality will drop, and from time to time we've had to fake commentary when the video stream became too garbled to make out, but in all it's been a very reliable tool for us. With the exception of some of our Wednesday episodes, every episode we record now is done in large groups, one episode after another. I use WSplit, a speedrun timer, as a stopwatch for our episodes that respond to hotkeys. After roughly 15 minutes, or when the clock is close enough, we wrap up our episodes, and after a moment of silence between, jump right back into the next episode. After a full session of recording, we each save our audio files, and the rest of the NPCs drop their files into a shared folder that's synchronized across all of our computers using Resilio Sync, a folder synchronizing application that uses BitTorrent technology to create exact copies of our folders between each computer. No saving or file management to do, they put it in the folder, and it shows up in mine. I move the files to a raw footage folder where I keep all of our unedited audio and video files that haven't been fully converted into videos, and from there, it's time to start editing. The one big paid application I use for our process is my video editing suite, Adobe Premiere Elements 11. I've been using it since 2012, and though it's not as feature-rich or powerful as the new Creative Cloud Pro versions, it gets the job done for me. I have a number of pre-rendered opening logo videos that I drop in at the beginning of my timeline, and then I organize all of our footage for the current video project into rows with overlaid graphics as necessary. Using the video and audio sync that we did during recording, I can get each video set close to where it needs to be, and then do fine adjustments as necessary to make sure that the game visuals sync up. After editing our videos and adding a pre-rendered end slate for use with the new YouTube end card feature, I render our videos in advanced video coding high definition H.264 1920x1080 MP4 format, which is the recommended format for YouTube. The final rendered files can be up to a few gigabytes each, but we like to ensure that the footage is as high quality as possible before uploading it to you. YouTube's upload procedure is extremely simple. Drag and drop, then I copy over titles, descriptions, and a large number of tags that I've already predefined to hopefully help us with our SEO, and we make use of YouTube's scheduled release function to make sure that each video uploads exactly when we want it, which would otherwise be impossible since all of us are at work doing our regular daily release timing at noon Atlantic time. Once the video is uploaded, I can put the final touches on by adding new end cards over my pre-rendered end slate, and when the time arrives, the video goes live and into your YouTube feed. And that leaves you with a regular old Plumbus. I hope that you enjoyed this little sneak peek this week into a large and dark and nerdy underbelly of our channel. This wraps up ThursDev for the Level NPCs Year 1, but we'll be back next week, as always, and back into the game dev talk. Thank you for watching, and I hope that I'll see you again right here, as always, next time. Take care.